The AICPA recommends anywhere from 80 to 120 hours of study for each CPA exam. But in my experience, most students spend almost double that amount of time studying for each exam. Why is that? And how can you avoid falling into that trap and cut your study time in half? In today's video, I'll show you exactly what you need to do to study less for the CPA exam, but still pass with some key strategies, mental frameworks, and techniques. And this first one was honestly something that would have been so helpful for me if I had really thought of it when I was studying, but it's something that I definitely struggled with. And this is focusing on the inputs rather than the outputs. So for me, I was someone who was just so focused on putting in tons of hours whenever I could, just so much input with not as much regard for output. Obviously, I was like, yeah, I want the results to be good. But I was more just like, my mindset was more, if I just throw a ton of hours at this, there's no way I'm going to fail, which to an extent is true. Like, you have to put in the work, and I'm glad I put in so much work. And that is one way to do it, is just like, if I just keep working and I don't stop working, I'll probably pass. So that's one way to do it. But I definitely was studying so much more than I needed to. And it also just caused me a ton of stress. So if you can switch your mindset from, an input mindset to an output mindset, I think you'll just be so much better for it. So stop focusing on how many hours you're putting in. Start focusing on like the quality of work that you're putting in and how well you're learning the material. And a great way to gauge that is by taking quizzes and simulated exams. So yeah, because it can be kind of hard to just know, what's the output here, but quizzes, that's a great way to figure it out. If you're doing well in the MCQs, if you feel like you're actually learning the simulations, like assess how you feel. If you feel like you're actually learning this stuff, then that's probably a good indicator that you're doing all right. And you don't need to just throw hours into the review materials just for the sake of it. So yeah, switching from input to output method, or mindset, not method. So that's kind of like a key mental framework that I wish I would have switched when I was studying for the exam. So hopefully you can make that switch. But this next point is more of a technique-based thing. So when you're studying, you want to incorporate spaced repetition. And you've probably heard me talk about this in some other videos, but basically spaced repetition is just studying content over the span of a few days. And I guess the opposite of this would be cramming, where you just like study all this stuff in 1 or 2 days and just cram it all in. Spaced repetition is like a longer period of time where, you study something one day and then you spend some days studying other things, and you come back to this and then some more days, and you just like periodically come back to content instead of just, studying it all in one day, like I said. And the reason this is so good is because, one, you're not cramming, and cramming is so stressful and just like not the move. But two, like the learning science shows this is actually the best way to do it. You want to study over a longer period of time because it actually gives your brain time to forget content, which when you relearn it makes the learning even stronger. If you watched my video about like best study techniques and habits, I talked about it there. Basically, when you learn something, you want your brain to be actively engaged and involved. And when you learn something, let some time pass and kind of forget it and relearn it, that's really going to actively involve your brain, because your brain's like, I know this, but it's not coming to me easily. It's going to work hard to get it, and it will eventually retrieve the material. That's the great thing about this, because you have learned it. You've just forgotten it, and your brain's going to remember it. You're going to relearn it. But the fact that you had forgotten it makes the brain work harder, which ultimately makes the learning even stronger. I definitely didn't explain that super clearly, but I hope it makes sense. If not, go watch my video about like the best study habits, because I think I explain it a little more clearly there. This next one is another like mindset one that, again, I kind of struggled with. But if you're using Becker, I mean, this goes for all review courses, but especially Becker, they focus so much on details. Like, there's so many small details. They cover everything, and they make everything seem like it's a big deal and make everything seem like it's going to show up on the exam. But there's just way too much. Like, you can't learn it all. And if you are like pressed for time or really stressed out, don't focus on the details too much. Like, focus on the high yield topics, because yeah, Becker will spend some time talking about something that probably won't be on the exam, but like you're stressed about it because, if Becker's talking about it, like I should probably learn it. And fair enough. If you have the time, patience, and energy to do that, go for it. But still, everyone should be putting the majority of their effort into the high yield topics. If you don't understand depreciation at a basic level, you should not be spending a ton of time like stressing about some random FASB code that Becker mentioned. Like, focus on the big topics, leases, depreciation, things like that, things that are probably going to show up on the CPA exam multiple times in different forms. Don't stress about the tiny details that might possibly show up every once in a while. No, make sure you have the big things nailed down, because that's where a majority of the points are going to come from. And that's where you're going to like win or lose on the CPA exam. Because if you get a simulation on like some topic that you just like completely don't understand, like if you don't understand the different depreciation methods and you get a simulation about it, you're kind of screwed there. But like if you get an MCQ about some random like classification, you can miss that. It's not the end of the world. You shouldn't spend time on those tiny details, especially if you don't have the time, energy, or like I said, patience. And I guess staying in the same theme of studying is use the most time efficient study methods. Again, going back to the study methods video I made earlier this month, you should be focusing on the big ones. Like don't be rereading the textbook. Don't be rewatching lectures. Like that is very much input mindset. You're like, oh, I'm inputting all these hours. Like I'm rereading the textbook for an hour. Like that's great. No, it's not. That's kind of a waste of time. You should really be doing MCQs for an hour, or simulations or flashcards for an hour. Rereading the textbook is such a horrible study method. Like it just is, because you're so passive. Like who's actually actively engaged reading a textbook? Who's really learning and like cementing things into their brain? No, you'd rather do 100 MCQs and get 50 of them wrong, but you learn from them. So there's just so much better study methods. Don't waste your time. Like you don't have a lot of time. You have schoolwork or a job or your family or whatever. Like you don't want to be wasting time. If you're going to study, like make sure you're actually locked in and, doing the most effective things with your time. Don't just sit there for an hour with a textbook so you feel like, you were doing stuff. So again, go back to that study methods video I made if you want more details, but the best study methods are quizzes, MCQs, simulations, flashcards, and elaboration, because those are the study methods where you're actively engaged, like you're really involved, interacting with the material. And yeah, on the flip side of that, rereading textbooks and rewatching lecture videos is just the opposite. It's super passive. You're going to zone out. Like you're really not learning that much. So stay away from those when possible. And I would say the last thing for trying to make sure that you keep, your time under control is to track your time. What's measured is managed, because if you're just studying and not really paying attention to how much time you're putting in, like that's fine. But if you want to make sure you're staying efficient, make sure you're not wasting a ton of time, track it, every day, like log how much time you spent, log what you studied, log, what you did, how it went. I would just keep track of this. Like I said, what's measured is managed. I work in audit, and that's a big thing. Like you track hours. You want to see how long it took you to do each thing. So for one, you can keep track of it and you can cut out inefficiencies where possible, but also, going forward, like for your next exam, you're like, oh, I know I spent about this much time on MCQs, this much on simulations, and it went well for me, so I should do the same. Or if you didn't pass, you can say, I spent this much time and it looks like I did poorly on the simulations, I should spend more time there. So I just think if the time is something that you're worried about, and I think for most people it is, track your time, log it. You don't have to be super crazy with it. Don't have to be super detailed. You can if you want. But I think even just like daily being like, okay, logging, I spent 2 hours today, 3 hours a day, 3 hours today, 1 hour today, whatever it is. I think just trying to keep track of that time is really going to be great for your actual studying and also just your mentality. And if you do want something that's a little more structured and you want like a plan laid out for you, check the link down below, because I do have a 60-day audit study plan where if you're studying for audit, it tells you exactly what you need to do each day. It's about 2 or 3 hours a day to be ready to pass audit in less than 2 months. So if that's something you're interested in, check the link down below. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.